Have you ever stood at the edge of your own mind, looking out into the vast, quiet expanse of what could have been? There are moments, aren't there, when our thoughts go beyond facts, beyond beliefs, and touch a strange, profound silence. It's not disbelief, it's not rebellion. It's the sudden, dizzying awareness that reality itself, this entire universe, could have been different or it could have not been at all. When this thought lands, words fail us, the usual images we rely on fade away. Even sacred texts can seem to fall quiet, not because they're untrue, but because they are pointing to something so far beyond the pages, something that defies easy description. It's a feeling of cosmic vertigo, a brush with the ultimate what if. But here's the thing. Christian faith isn't afraid of this edge. In a very real sense, it was born there. What if we lived in a universe that never was? What if, instead of stars and galaxies, there was just nothing? To even ask that question is to bump up against the limits of our own imagination. Because what is nothing? When we try to picture it, our minds immediately fill the void. We imagine a vast, black emptiness. But that's not nothing. Blackness is a color, a property. Emptiness is a state, a description of a space. We might think of silence, but silence is the absence of sound, which means the potential for sound still exists. True nothingness, absolute non-existence, has no category. It has no shape, no language, no potential. It's a concept our mind simply cannot grasp. We are beings, so we think in terms of being. We are something, so we cannot truly conceive of not something. This is the profound paradox at the heart of the question. And yet, this is where faith offers a unique and powerful perspective. Before there was a universe, before time, before matter, before even the idea of a beginning, the Apostle John tells us there was the Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Let's unpack that. The word in Greek, logos, isn't just a sound or a sentence, it represents meaning itself. It's the underlying reason, the foundational order, the self-knowing love that is the very essence of God. When John writes in the beginning, he's not just placing God at the start of a historical timeline. He is making a much bolder claim that history itself and all of reality rests entirely upon God. God is not an item in the universe. The universe is an expression of God. So, when we ask, what if nothing existed at all, we are not denying God. We are simply trying to imagine a state of absolute nullity. And Christian theology offers a quiet, profound answer to this mental exercise. It says, even if nothing we know of existed, no stars, no planets, no people, God would still be. This isn't to say God would be an object floating in an endless void. That's still thinking in terms of things and spaces. The claim is more radical. God is not a being among other beings. God is being itself. This is why, in the Old Testament, when Moses asks for God's name, the answer he receives is not a simple label. The answer is, I am who I am, not I was created, not I began, simply, I am. God is the very ground of existence. He doesn't exist in the same way a tree or a star exists. A tree or a star has existence. God is existence. Therefore, a universe without God is a logical impossibility, because a universe without existence itself is a contradiction in terms. The very fabric of reality, The very possibility of anything existing at all is woven from the being of God. This understanding often deepens with time, with life experience. When we are young, the world is a rush of activity, of building, of achieving. Our questions are often practical. What's next? How do I succeed? But as life progresses, as the pace slows, as we experience loss, as our own bodies remind us of their fragility, the soul tends to become more honest. The small questions start to fall away, and the ultimate ones rise to the surface. What remains when everything else passes? What speaks when all our human words fall silent? We look at the faces of loved ones who are no longer with us. We feel the inevitable march of time in our own bones. The world we knew changes, sometimes beyond recognition. In these quiet, reflective moments, the question of existence becomes less of an abstract puzzle and more of a deeply personal reality. We are confronted with our own transience, our own finitude. And in that confrontation, we are forced to ask, is there anything that lasts? The Christian answer to this profound human ache is not a loud, complicated argument. It's not a mathematical proof or a philosophical treatise designed to win a debate. The answer is presence. It's the stunning claim that the Word, the very Logos that was with God and was God, did not remain distant and abstract. That Word, John tells us, became flesh and dwelt among us. God enters history. Not to explain away every mystery, not to give us a tidy blueprint of the cosmos, but to walk with us. To walk with us through the confusion, the suffering, the aging, the dying. Jesus Christ does not come to eliminate the silence at the edge of existence. He comes to inhabit it with us. He stands with us at the precipice of our deepest questions and our greatest fears. Think about the darkest moments in the life of Christ. The agony in the Garden of Gethsemane, the cry of dereliction from the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me?" In these moments, we see God Himself entering into the human experience of feeling utterly alone, of standing at the edge of the void. He doesn't just observe our suffering from a safe distance. He enters into it, sanctifies it, and ultimately redeems it. So, what does this mean for us today? It means that faith is not about having all the answers. It is not about pretending we never have doubts or never feel the ground shake beneath our feet. True faith is not the absence of questions. It is the courage to ask them, trusting that we are held in the asking. Faith does not mean you'll never stand at that dizzying edge, wondering about the what-ifs. In fact, an honest faith will lead you there from time to time. But it does mean trusting that even there, in the profound silence, in the face of what feels like nothingness, you are not alone. Because the one who is being itself is with you. The Word who spoke reality into existence is the same Word who whispers your name in the dark. The universe we live in is not a random accident floating in an indifferent void. It is a gift, a song, an expression of a love that is eternal. And even if we could imagine it all away, even if we try to conceive of a universe that never was, we would find that the very ground of that thought is held by the one who simply says, "I am." And in Him, we find our being, our hope, and our home. Thanks for watching. If this video resonated with you, please consider liking it and subscribing for more content that explores these deep questions of life and faith. We'll see you in the next one.